Okay, so the latest Liverpool transfer news. We're going to look at three players. We're going to look at a new player, supposed wonder kid Harvey Elliott, existing player Divock Origi, and also the sort of extended talk about Coutinho. We got some new news on Coutinho and a possible return to Liverpool there. So we'll start off with Harvey Elliott. Now, his name hit the headlines, and you saw 16-year-old wonder kid, youngest player, and everybody's thinking, you know, is this some new Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Now, it may well be. It's certainly a player that had gone under my radar. I wasn't really too aware of him. I'd heard his name, but nothing startling in the past had come out about him. So we'll have a look at him first. Now, he's 16-year-old. He turned 16 in April. He's currently at Fulham. Apparently, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG are all interested in him. We won't get too carried away because at the end of the day, any transfer policy will be looking for players that can go into the team now. They'll be looking at players that are squad players that will be providing backup for those players. And then they're looking at players that will be looking to come into the team in the next 1, 2, 3 years and even beyond. Now, he's one of these players that's not going to be an immediate signing, so we shouldn't all get too carried away with him. However, you know, very promising kid. Now, he turned 16 in April, and he can't turn pro until he's 17 next April. So in terms of a transfer, it's known as a compensation fee that Liverpool would pay to Fulham. No deal has been done as we speak. It's one of those that Liverpool look like they're at the front of the queue for him. And you know, it's one of Klopp's signings potentially that, you know, he's looking to the future to bring in some homegrown players that may mature maybe 1, 2, 3 seasons down the line. I expect he may, you know, depending on his progress and what they see of him, should he arrive at Liverpool, may well go into a cup competition as a show his face maybe next year, see how he gets on. Now, he's the youngest debutant in Premier League history at 16 years and I think it's 30 days. Like I say, turned 16 in April. He's only actually played 20 minutes of senior football, so we can't get too carried away about this kid. He's played most of his 18-19 season in the Fulham under-18 team that play in the under-18 Premier League. He's had 28 appearances last year, 5 goals, 5 assists. In the 17-18 season, 6 appearances, no goals, 1 assist. There's not a lot to see about him. You can't really find out too much about him. The people that have worked with him speak very, very highly of him. Obviously, he's playing against older kids at under 18 level. His development is basically seen to be, you know, ahead of his years. And the thing is, with kids that age, a lot of it can depend with youth sports on the physicality of kids. Some kids develop a lot earlier physically, but he seemed to got it all. You know, he's very, very quick, dribbling, quick feet, and he's quite smart as well. He's got a good footballing head on him. So, you know, he's one to look out for. Internationally, he's played under 15, under 16, under 17 for his country. Not too many times. You know, there's probably about 8 appearances over the under 15, under 16, under 17. So like I say, not one to get too carried away about, but you know, he's a potential signing for Liverpool that looks like it could well happen, and one to see how he develops over the next year or two. So that's Harvey Elliott. The next signing I want to talk about is current player Divock Origi. Now, Belgian football expert Christophe Terreur did an interview with Transfer Talk podcast, I think it was yesterday, and he's a very reliable source, and he's usually pretty correct in what he says. Now, he has stressed this isn't inside knowledge, but he's very well informed, and you know, he like I say, he tends to come with the news that tends to happen. Now, Origi has been offered a new 5-year contract with Liverpool. His agent is in talks. It's apparently it's good money. Klopp has spoken to Origi and sort of said, look, now Sturridge has left, that he will feature more forward, more advanced in his plans. It's interesting. I mean, last year, he played, I think, about 22 games, 8 appearances, but a lot of those were from the bench. Yes, he did have some starts. But he does score a goal every 72 minutes. Now, when you look back at his history, obviously he's been with Liverpool a few years. He's been out on loan in the Bundesliga. He's never really lit any fires, but he's a player that Klopp knows well. He's a player that Liverpool know well. And if they've offered him a 4 or 5 year contract, they're pretty confident that he's somebody that they is valuable and will keep at the club. We've been looking at lots of potential attacking midfielders, attackers to give that backup to Salah, Firmino, and Mane up front. And it's very hard to find a striker that, one, you want, and two, that wants to come to Liverpool, because some of them want guarantees of 30, 40 matches a season, and with that front three lineup, you just can't, as a manager, guarantee them that. So there'll be players that Klopp will want, there'll be players that he will have gone after, and there'll be players that he can't get, because sometimes success can work against you in terms of new players coming in and competing against what's there already. So it would be a good contract extension. He's out of contract, I think, in 2020, so it's one really Klopp wants to tie down. Origi is on holiday at the moment. We expect that to be sorted out fairly soon. Mixed feelings on it. My thoughts is that I would still like to see Liverpool sign another backup striker, attacker, winger. You've got names I've mentioned like Dani Olmo and Van der Beek. Dani Olmo is one I would like to see, and Van der Beek come into the Premier League. I think it'd be exciting to see both of those next year. A lot of people have criticised me for talking about Milner and sort of saying he's 33 now, 34 in January. He can't go on for too long. And then lo and behold, first day back at training yesterday, he goes and breaks everybody's back and comes out the fittest player on the latest test. And he showed that he ain't ready to hang his boots up yet and let any of these young guns in. So that was good to see. But inevitably, when someone's 33, turning 34 in a season, Klopp might want to limit the number of games he plays to just extend his career a little bit. And Milner, is a great midfielder, but he's somebody I think that they could do with replacing as well. Which brings us on to Philippe Coutinho. Now, a lot of talk about him coming back to Liverpool, and very mixed reaction. I think, on balance, talking to Liverpool fans and some of the messages and some of the comments I've had, I think on balance Liverpool fans would rather not see him back at the club. And my view is, I think he's a terrific player. I think he's sort of had some bad press at Barcelona, which he doesn't deserve. It's not his fault that he went for such a size of transfer fee. Yes, he tried to pressure the club in getting the signing, but Barcelona have dug themselves a bit of a hole with him with that transfer fee. If they don't want him, it's very difficult to find a club that will pay that much for him. Would he fit back in Liverpool? Yes. Would there be a few bumps in the road? Yes, I think there would. However, his agent has had an interview with RMC Sport, and he said, well, I'll quote what he said. I talked a few days ago with Pep Segura at Barcelona. He told me that the club do not want to sell Coutinho this summer, no matter what. So that's his agent doing an interview with RMC Sport. Pretty definite that I think he's been trying to engineer a move for Coutinho, but he's saying that Barcelona are saying, no, we're not selling him. My thoughts are that for Coutinho, it's probably best that he puts his head down, works hard and tries to win those Barcelona fans over, and tries to get back to the sort of form he was having at Liverpool. He's not far away from where he is. He's still scoring goals, he's still assisting, he's still a superb player. But I think he could do with putting his head down and sticking it out with Barcelona. Like I say, Liverpool would have been a good option for him, but there would have been a few bumps in the road for him coming back. So there we are. We've nobody actually signed yet, but there's 3 there. Harvey Elliott, the youngster, looking like he possibly come to Liverpool, one to look out for the future. Divock Origi, hopefully get a contract extension on him. And Coutinho, that one looks like it's gone to bed and is unlikely to happen now. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe below. Appreciate all your support. Be interested to hear your comments on the youngster Harvey Elliott and what your thoughts are on Origi. Would you give him another 4 or 5 year contract, or would you really say no? We want to bring someone totally fresh in instead of him. I think sign him and also bring one other attacker or attacking midfielder in. And like I say, my 2 picks would be Dani Olmo and Van der Beek. Thanks again for watching.